Dolly Parton recorded a farewell message years before she ever thought she'd need one. She handed it to her nephew Brian, her head of security, and told him to keep it until the time came. On August 25, 2026, that time came. Brian posted the video to her official accounts and told the world what no one wanted to hear. Dolly Parton had passed away at 80 years old in Nashville, Tennessee. No cause of death was given. Not that day, and not in the days that followed. But if you'd been paying attention over the past year, you didn't need a diagnosis to understand that something serious had been unfolding quietly behind the warmth and the reassurances she kept offering her fans. He grew up in front of America's eyes. To understand her final year, you have to start with Carl. Carl Dean, her husband of nearly 6 decades, died on March 3, 2025, at the age of 82. He was famously private, so private that most people had never even seen a photo of the two of them together. And yet, he had been the constant in her life, for essentially her entire adult life. Losing him at 80 meant Dolly was suddenly navigating something she had never experienced before: being alone. 6 months after Carl's death, she announced she was postponing a planned Las Vegas residency, citing health challenges and the need for a few procedures. She kept the details vague, framing it in the reassuring language she'd spent decades perfecting. But then her younger sister Frida posted on Facebook, asking fans to pray for Dolly, saying she hadn't been feeling her best. That was a voice outside the carefully managed messaging, and it clearly alarmed people, because Dolly immediately released a video telling fans not to worry, that she wasn't as sick as they might be thinking. By March 2026, standing in front of the crowd at Dollywood's seasonal opening, she was more candid than she'd ever been. She told the audience she'd been worn down, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, and that she was actively working to rebuild herself after losing Carl. That's not the language of a passing illness. That's grief, doing what grief does to a body that's already carrying something else. 2 months later, she canceled another Las Vegas engagement, and finally named something specific: kidney stones. Not a single episode, but a chronic, recurring condition she'd apparently been managing for years. In her own words, her doctors had dug more stones out of her than a rock quarry back home in Tennessee. She also disclosed that her immune system and digestive system had been, in her phrase, all out of whack for the past 2 to 3 years. That timeline stretches back long before any public health announcement, long before Carl's death even. Whatever was happening had been building quietly for a long time. Her final public health update came just weeks before she died. A new ride had opened at Dollywood, the kind of event she would normally have been front and center for, and she wasn't there. Her doctor had advised against travel. She mentioned dizziness and dehydration in the casual, almost offhand way she described most things. But stacked on top of everything else, it didn't sound casual at all. She never gave the world a full diagnosis. She gave pieces, wrapped in humor and warmth, the way she always did, just enough to keep people from worrying too much, while something serious was clearly progressing underneath. In lieu of flowers, her family asked that donations be made to her Imagination Library, the program she built to mail free books to children. Even in death, she was pointing people towards something bigger than herself. If this moved you, hit like and subscribe. There's so much more to come.